Hello and welcome to another edition of Good Deeds. It is brought to you by and powered by justserve.org. If you are looking for organizations that are doing wonderful things in our community, helping people every day, and you want to get involved, well, justserve.org is a great place to start. With me today is Charlotte Mitchell, and she works with the California Farmland Trust, and they're doing great things, not just for California, but really the entire country. California feeds the world, really, doesn't it?
It does, Sheryl. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Well, thank you. And thank you for shining a spotlight on the work that your organization is doing here in Sacramento and beyond. Can you give us a brief overview of what your organization is doing on a daily basis?
Absolutely. We're a nonprofit organization with a mission to protect the best farmland in the world. And we do that by way of working with farmers who wish to see their farmland protected forever for the next generation and for eternity with a tool called a conservation easement. And that easement allows for that land to remain in farmland forever.
Now, what are some of the biggest threats to farmland? Things that, people like myself, that we're just going about our daily life, getting our stuff at the grocery store, may not realize the threats that exist to farmland. What are some of those?
I think we see it every day driving down the freeways and in our own communities, and that's the urban threat. We have to make sure that we have a place for people to live and to work, and that's really important for cities to grow. But we also need to be able to ensure that we have farmland, and that land needs to be protected for its ability to produce the food and fiber that we rely on every day, and ensure that California remains the number one producer of food, not just for ourselves and our communities, but, really throughout the country and globally. California grows over 400 different commodities. And because we have this Mediterranean type climate and our good prime soils, we're able to grow really year round. And that's what makes California so unique. And that really enables us to ensure that we have to create this fine balance between ensuring that cities grow within areas that are appropriate for urban infrastructure and ensuring that our prime soils, those lands that are producing food very efficiently and economically and feeding ourselves really remains intact to do that.
Yes. What are some of the things that we as consumers can do on a daily basis to help protect farmland? I know for me, and I've done this for years, just because I think it's healthier, but I also like to support local, is I like to buy from farmers markets as much as I can, get my produce there. What are some of the other steps that we can take to help protect farmland?
Yes, I think the farmers markets, because those farmers are growing regionally, locally, and bringing that produce to you, making sure that your grocery stores are stocked with food that's coming from California. And when it's not, ask the produce manager or in the meat counter. I want to ensure that these are grown here in California and demand that. And I think that's an important component of ensuring that we can support those farmlands that are growing for us. I think the other is through policy measures and ensuring that our local land use policymakers through the cities and the counties know that farmland's important and that those can be protected and being that active voice at those local city council meetings really is a great influence to ensure that priority is made to continue to keep farmland in production. And I think the other way too is ensuring that everybody realizes that we're doing. We're one of very few land trusts that are really focused on protecting farmland throughout California, really throughout the Central Valley where our growing region's at. And so contributing back to our organization will help propel us to do more of that farmland protection.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, what are some of the ways that we here in the Sacramento community can support your organization and the work that you're doing? Because it sounds like you're doing a lot of things to help protect the farmland for all of us. How can we best support you?
Other ways to support us in what we're doing is certainly through the Big Day of Giving that's happening on May the 5th. And that if you go directly to our website, we can ensure that you have that information to be engaged in how what we're doing and to donate in that way. The other really fun way that we can ask for the community support is in a race the slow the pace. We have a fun run organized for September the 25th. It's at Bokish Vineyards in Lodi. You can run or walk through the vineyards and afterwards enjoy a nice glass of wine and some paella. And that's another great way to support our work. The other is just to merely donate either your time or financial resources to what we're doing. And you can certainly find more information on that in our website. We're currently have a great a project we're fundraising for. It's to protect the Fiorini project in Merced County. That's another great way to be able to directly contribute to what we're doing. 97 cents out of every dollar donated goes right back to conserving the farmland. So I think in terms of showing an impact in how you want to ensure that farmland is protected, and also all the natural resources, the climate change that we're offering for protecting these farmlands is beneficial to contribute in a multitude of ways.
Absolutely. I mean, it helps beyond even just the Sacramento area. The shorter a distance that food has to travel, the less greenhouse gases in our environment, and it just really helps the whole world. So you're doing
It does.
very important work here, and I just want to thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for sharing it with us on Good Deeds.
Yes. Thank you, Sheryl. I appreciate it.